Imagine pulling into your driveway, only to find a squad of wannabe cops slapping a tow notice on your dad's old Jeep, the one that's carried generations of stories, dents, and dust. But these aren't real badges. They're cheap knockoffs bought by the neighborhood queen bee, Karen, who's hell-bent on turning your quiet suburb into her personal dictatorship. And when her fake empire crumbles under FBI scrutiny, oh boy, the schadenfreude hits like a freight train. In the sun-drenched cul-de-sacs of Willow Creek Estates, where picket fences hid simmering resentments, I was the guy everyone whispered about. That Mark guy's Jeep is an eyesore, they'd mutter at block parties. Egged on by HOA President Karen Wilkins, a plump powerhouse in pearls who preached community harmony like it was gospel. Me? I kept my head down, nursing the '85 Wrangler my late father left me, rusted fenders from his army days, seats worn from road trips that patched our family together after Mom's passing. But Karen? She saw it as a blight on her perfect paradise, fining me $100 for visual pollution right off the bat. It's for the greater good, Mark, she cooed at the mailbox one day, her smile all teeth and no soul. We can't have relics dragging down property values. I nodded politely, but inside, I was cataloging every smug syllable, every absurd rule she enforced like a tin-pot tyrant afraid her throne might wobble. The violations piled up like bad karma. First, a letter demanding I paint the Jeep or park it in the garage. Never mind, my garage was full of Dad's old tools, a shrine I wasn't touching. Then, whispers turned to outright slander. Mark's hoarding junk, Karen told the neighborhood app, twisting facts to paint me as the sloppy recluse. Neighbors avoided eye contact, one even crossing the street when I waved. Sorry, man, my buddy Tom muttered over coffee. But Karen's on a roll, says your ride's scaring off buyers. I bit my tongue, but started snapping photos of her own violations, her oversized holiday lights dangling year-round, a clear breach of her precious bylaws. Hypocrite, I thought, filing it away like ammo. When she upped the fine to $500, citing ongoing neglect, I finally replied via email. Karen, does this apply to your faded lawn gnomes too? Her response? A curt, mind the rules. Or face enforcement. The air in Willow Creek thickened. Every HOA meeting a stage for her moral monologues. But I watched, waited, and researched, learning her security patrols were just mall cops and sheriff knockoffs. Unlicensed and laughably illegal. Things escalated when Karen unveiled her elite enforcement team. 2 burly dudes in ill-fitting uniforms, badges gleaming like fool's gold, cruising the streets in a golf cart decked out like a squad car. For safety's sake, she announced at a barbecue, puffing up like a peacock. They started harassing everyone, ticketing Mrs. Lee's minivan for uneven alignment, flashing lights into windows at midnight. But they zeroed in on me. One evening, as I tinkered under the Jeep's hood, they rolled up. This heap's gotta go. Pal, the lead goon barked, slapping an orange toe sticker on the windshield. Karen hovered behind, arms crossed over her ample belly, smirking. Community standards? Mark. We voted on this, democratically. I peeled it off slowly. Voted? Or bullied? Last I checked. Impersonating cops is a federal no-no. You boys got real badges. Or just Etsy specials. The goon faltered, mumbling about authority, while Karen hissed. Don't threaten us with facts. This is about order. Neighbors peeked from blinds, chuckling under their breath at her flailing defense. I snapped pics of their fake gear. Emailed the state licensing board that night. Turns out, 0 registration. All funded by our dues siphoned into her vanity project. The powder keg ignited when those officers tailed my teenage niece home from school, radios crackling like bad action flicks. She burst in pale-faced. Uncle Mark. They followed me, said to tell you the Jeep's days are numbered. Fury boiled. But I channeled it smart. I rallied allies, retired cop neighbor Ed, who growled. These clowns couldn't police a lemonade stand, paralegal Sarah, who'd been fined for excessive bird feeders, and reporter Jake, sniffing a scandal. We dug receipts for $30,000 in bogus uniforms. Meeting minutes burying the fraud. Karen's building a fantasy PD on our dime, Sarah laughed bitterly. We tipped the FBI anonymously, wire fraud, impersonation, racketeering. The bust went down at dawn, agents swarming Karen's patrol as they prepped to tow my Jeep. You're under arrest, an agent deadpanned to the goons, who wilted like wet noodles. Karen shrieked. This is HOA jurisdiction. We maintain values. The lead Fed replied coolly. Ma'am, values don't include felony cosplay. Neighbors erupted in whoops. Phones capturing her red-faced meltdown as cuffs clicked, her empire exposed as a cheap charade. In the aftermath, Willow Creek exhaled. We scrubbed the Jeep together, turning it into a gleaming symbol of rebellion. New tires from Ed. Paint from Sarah. Jake's article blasting it viral. Karen resigned in disgrace, muttering about ungrateful peasants, but the valley bloomed freer. Rules were written by vote, not venom. The Jeep roared back to life, a rolling middle finger to tyrants. But here's the kicker. Was Karen the real villain? Or just the face of a system that lets petty power corrupt absolutely? You tell me, is it ever right to fake authority for the greater good? Or does that make you the biggest fraud of all?